Hey everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of C14 Dating. So, we are at the point when we're getting ready for the festival, and Shoji's trying to draw Neanderthals, and we get to volunteer somebody. So, we are going to go and volunteer ourselves. I'll do it. I brought up the idea. I crawled onto the paper carefully, not to crinkle it, then spread out my arms and legs. Shoji watched for a moment, then chuckled. You don't have to do a Virtue Vein Man pose. Virtue what? The famous drawing by Leonardo da Vinci, depicting a man in two different poses. Oh, that one? Well, you're the artist. What do you want me to do? First, put your legs shoulder width apart. Raise your left hand like you're going to wave. After I listened to his instructions, he was satisfied with the results. Grabbing a pencil, he scooted over to my right side and began tracing from my stomach. He's so concentrated. I tilted my head, watching while he worked. His arm moved fluidly, and he occasionally bit his lip in concentration. There was a ticklish sensation, and I pursed my lips to stifle a giggle. I'd forgotten how sensitive I was. Luckily, Shoji didn't seem to notice, and the pencil encircled my hand before continuing to my other arm. When the tip brushed against my fingers, I squirmed and scrunched up my hand, unable to hold in my laughter. You okay? I'm sorry, I'm ticklish. I relaxed, but as soon as the pencil grazed me again, I jerked my arm back, giggling uncontrollably. Sorry, I'll try to be more mindful. Don't apologize. I'm the one making it difficult for you. Was my hand here? I shifted, trying to remember the position. Shoji reached across, using his own hand to manipulate my fingers and align my arm. Here. After he had adjusted my hand, he paused when he realized that his upper body was hovering over mine. Blushing, he hastily retreated to his kneeling position, angling his face away. I didn't mean to get so close. It's fine. I can tell that you get absorbed when you draw. Shoji nodded, but said nothing. However, instead of tracing from a stationary position, he moved clockwise around me to avoid repeating the incident. The pencil traveled up my leg, then halted beside my knee. You can finish the last part. Oh, sure. Sitting up, I noticed where he stopped and finished the outline. There we go. I rolled off the paper to assess the outcome. That looks pretty cool. Now you have your Neanderthal profile to work with. It'll definitely come in handy. Thanks for volunteering, Melissa. It was no problem. I look forward to seeing the finished product. It's cute that he's so shy. He really is an adorable one. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and skip up. Okay, so we just got word that Shoji's mother went to the hospital, so we've got this one little extra bit here. The two vanished, and I placed both my hands on Shoji's shoulders to help steady him. He trembled violently, and I had no idea what to say to help calm him down. It's my fault. I shouldn't have returned here. It's because I'm not tending to the store that... It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I heard someone approaching and turned to see Hendrik, who was already holding a set of keys.
I heard what happened. Shoji, do you want me to drive you to the hospital?
It's all the way to Liège. I can't impose.
This is a family emergency, and a taxi or train will take too long. Don't think of this as a burden. It's more to be with family.
Hendrik, thank you.
You can thank me once I drop you off. Let's go.
Shoji took a step forward, and I grabbed his hand, giving it a brief squeeze. Hang in there. I'm sure that she's all right.
I hope so, too.
Once Hendrik's truck pulled out of the driveway, Kyler and DeAndre approached me. Okay, so I'm going to skip this part now. Okay, I skipped a little bit. This time, instead of Kyler having the information, we do. We exchanged online contact information since I can't exactly use my phone here. I can fire off a message later and see if he responds.
Thank you. Please let us know if you hear from him.
We went our separate ways, and I entered my tent and grabbed my phone. Once I sat in range of the weak Wi-Fi, I typed out a message.
Mention your concern, mention how worried everyone is, mentioned my concern specifically. Yes, we are the most worried.
It's understandable if you don't respond anytime soon. Hope everything's okay and that your mom has a speedy recovery. You and your family are in my thoughts. Take care. I'm terrible at these things. I wish I knew the right thing to say in a situation like this. It wasn't until dinner time that Hendrik returned. I rushed over to him and he gave me a reassuring smile. Is everything okay?
I just dropped Shoji off at the hospital. I gave him my number in case he needs me to pick him up.
Yeah, it's understandable. Thanks, Hendrik, for jumping in like that.
I couldn't let him wait around for the train or a taxi. It was the least that I could do. Now go eat. It won't do any good if you don't take care of yourself as well.
Dinner was a blur, although I explained the situation to Chantal and Joan when they asked about Shoji's absence. I also told Kyler and Deandra that I haven't heard from him yet. Kyler looked worried, but thanked me for updating him. When dinner was over, I passed the time playing video games in my tent. I kept crawling to the end of my tent to check my phone. If I adjusted the phone just right, that I could get one Wi-Fi bar. But so far I've received no replies, which made me dwell on the situation even more. I sighed and tapped the buttons on my handheld lazily. Then I grew cold, and I closed the tent to keep the bugs out and retain some warmth. Was Shoji going to spend the night somewhere else? I guess that meant that he won't be able to participate in the festival tomorrow. I heard footsteps approaching the tent area. Knowing it wasn't somebody coming back from the bathroom, I shot up. I forgot I closed the tent and ended up colliding into the flap before bouncing back. The person outside yelped and I hastily unzipped the door. Shoji stood there, one hand using his phone as a flashlight and the other clutching his chest in an attempt to quell his shock. Shoji, you're back!
Melissa, you're still up?
Of course. I was worried sick. How's your mom?
Here is probably not the best place to discuss it.
Oh. Sensing my disappointment, Shoji gestured to the building behind me.
We can talk over there.
I shoved my feet into some flip-flops and zipped up the tent. I forgot my hoodie, but I barely noticed as I followed Shoji around the corner.
Mom will be alright.
Good. Was it serious?
I admit when I heard the good news that I couldn't really concentrate on the diagnosis. I was just so relieved. She suffered from a minor concussion, and they think she fainted more from the pain than the actual head injury. She also fractured her heel bone, but she won't need surgery. I guess the bone pieces weren't moved.
Ah, it's a stable fracture. She'll be fine. However, she can't put any weight on that injured foot for a few months. She'll need physical therapy and do a little exercises to encourage the motion and flexibility. Basically, she just has to take it easy, and she'll make a full recovery.
Thank you. I'm guessing that's what the doctor was explaining to me. I'm surprised. You seem to know a lot about it. I phrased that wrong. It doesn't seem to be a topic you'd be familiar with.
Well, I'm a dancer. I've known people who had similar injuries, so I've learned a bit from them. I'm surprised too, actually. The fact that you returned, I thought that you'd go home or remain at the hospital.
I did consider it, but once my mom learned that I would be helping out at the festival tomorrow, she encouraged me to return. She said it sounded like I was enjoying myself and that she'd feel awful if I dropped everything for her sake.
Glad to hear that she's fine. I guess she didn't want you to worry too much.
Well, I can't not worry, but it's still a relief that she'll make a complete recovery. Anyway, sorry for keeping you up. I didn't think you would.
Don't apologize. It was my decision and you can't stop me from worrying about you when things like this happen. I'm not sure if you checked your phone, but did you happen to receive a message from me?
I did. I'm sorry, I didn't reply. I was a little occupied.
No problem. I'm sort of clumsy at these kinds of things, so I'm sorry if the message didn't help in any way.
It did.
He paused and adjusted his glasses, obscuring his eyes.
I reread it a lot in the waiting room. It was reassuring to know that someone cared. Thanks for that. It meant a lot to me, Melissa.
It was no problem. Of course I care. We should get some shut-eye, though. We need to get up at, 6 a.m.? I wonder if I should bother with my regular jog then.
Then, good night. I'll see you in the morning.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.